So, are you dating or seeing a fearful avoidant attachment style individual and you are starting to feel concerned that they might be interested in somebody else, or perhaps you're even trying to figure out if they were interested in somebody else to help you gain some closure or insight into why your relationship with them might have ended? Well, in this video, we are going to cover 5 key things to pay attention to that may indicate a fearful avoidant is interested in somebody else. And we'll talk about what to do if you're seeing these things currently in some sort of relationship dynamic now. So, first and foremost, one of the most common things you'll see with a fearful avoidant, by the way, if you don't know what a fearful avoidant is, there are 4 main attachment styles. A fearful avoidant is the hot and cold partner. And they tend to, every single person has an attachment style, and they tend to be the ones that are constantly swinging from kind of being all in and super present to withdrawing and kind of disconnected. And they can sort of operate in some of these extremes. And it's actually the result of usually having some traumatic experiences or big challenges in terms of the way they were taught to attach to other people as children. So, anyways, so one of the first signs you'll see a lot is that the fearful avoidant will actually talk about this person quite frequently. They may kind of gush about this person a little bit and say, like, oh, this person's this, that, and the other. And they'll kind of share and go on and on about somebody. And it's almost like a little kid, like talking about like their favorite toy or hobby or game or and you'll hear them kind of like share a lot. And this will sort of just, on par with the fearful avoidant attachment style as a whole, this will oscillate between being really oversharing and number two, undersharing. And they sometimes become very private all of a sudden. So you'll see that they go from like talking about somebody a lot, and you might be like, who is that person? I don't really know that person, or I've never heard of them before. Why are they talking about that person so much to me? To then becoming like really private with their phone, private with what they're doing, a little more sort of withdrawn in different ways. And you may see like a big, sort of like an avoidance of, hey, what did you do yesterday? How was your evening? And they may be kind of like quiet, private, shut down. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they're like out seeing this person. But even if they're in some kind of communication with the person or have some kind of interest or intrigue with the person, they may just be more withdrawn and shut down. And they may be more private in terms of not sharing as much about themselves, their feelings, their emotions, those sorts of things. And again, you'll see this like kind of extreme, like they talk about this person a lot, and then they're more private in their personal life more frequently. So those are number one and two. Number three, you may find that the fearful avoidant becomes less emotionally connected, asks less questions, becomes less present in the relationship, doesn't really crave or try to engage in like that same degree of depth with you. Because fearful avoidance, like when they're interested in somebody, they're usually very interested and they're all in, and they'll really try and really make an effort and really try to like progress the relationship, grow. They'll really show up. And when they are starting to kind of not feel the same way or their interest goes elsewhere, they can really withdraw quite suddenly. They can be kind of disconnected, their attention somewhere else. They won't like try to keep growing the relationship and pursuing that depth of connection in the same way. So again, these are red flags to pay attention to. Now, if you're hearing some of these things and you're like, I might see some of these in the relationship, we're going to talk about how to address them. But also, if you want to do a much deeper dive into this topic and like how to get your relationship back on track, for the month of May only, we are doing a 14-day free trial to PDS, which means you actually get access to all of the courses for 14 days for free. You can check them out. You can download the workbooks. You can go in, you can take the courses. I mean, you can literally get through like each course, and PDS is maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours. It's designed to address root cause, the subconscious component of what's going on, and really help you move the needle. And so for Mental Health Month, we do a 14-day free trial once a year for this, for Mental Health Month. And it will allow you to really do a deep dive into accessing some of the things that may be helpful for you. So if you're seeing some of these patterns and want to do a much deeper dive, the course I recommend for you is How to Repair Any Relationship. It will help you determine whether or not you should be working to repair that relationship, and then the steps you need to take if there is something to really work out there and progress. So again, I'll put the link down below. You can check it out for 14 days for free. Um, Now, the next point I really want to touch on here is you may see, for point number 4 here, that the fearful avoidant becomes just progressively more aloof and withdrawn overall. Like they just may be less present. And this is really rare for fearful avoidance because they're very present towards the things they care about. So just being like really aloof, withdrawn, not really paying attention, not really showing up, not investing in the relationship in the same way. Again, you may see fearful avoidants do this for short periods of time when they're afraid, like afraid of commitment, afraid of taking the next steps. They can be, they can sort of withdraw for a couple days here and there. But I'm talking about this comes on all of a sudden and then it happens and it like sustains itself. Like they're suddenly withdrawn for weeks at a time, for days and days at a time at least. And you're like, what the heck is going on? And these tend to be some of these really important red flags to not ignore. And then the last one you'll see is they may actually question the relationship more often. They may say, I don't know if this is right. I'm not sure about this because they tend to really vocalize what's on their mind, fearful avoidance. And they have a hard time holding big things in because actually fearful avoidance tend to really have this need to be authentic. So whatever's going in their minds, they really struggle to keep to themselves. So if they're questioning the relationship, they'll generally question the relationship to you out loud as well. And it may just be a result of them like really being in this anxious side versus avoidance side and that kind of pendulum swinging back and forth. But if you're seeing all five of these red flags at once, then it's really important to address like, hey, do you really want to make this work or not? Do you want to show up for this? Or like, what's going on here? And it's important that when you see red flags, you address them early. You try to strategize for solutions to move beyond them. You have open, transparent communication about what's not working and what you want to do instead. And then you take action steps to get there and you form a deadline and you watch. Did this change? Is this improving? Is the situation moving in a better direction? And if the answer is no, then it's time to reconsider being in that relationship. Because if we're seeing red flags and things that make us uncomfortable and not okay, and we're not happy, and we, have these conversations and nothing changes, then it's a sign that nothing is going to change. So it's really important to put all that out there, get clear as early as you can, see if things really progress. And if not, then it's time to really reconsider your next steps. So I hope this makes sense. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you don't want to miss any videos, I literally put videos out every single day, 7 days a week about attachment styles, the subconscious mind, healing, personal growth, boundaries, needs, learning your needs, all kinds of things, how to improve your self-esteem, how to reprogram limiting beliefs at a subconscious level, and everything really related to integrated attachment theory, which is the new attachment theory. So if you want to learn more, subscribe down below, hit the notification bell. And if you want that 14-day free access to our entire school with all 60 courses, you can also use that link down below. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching.